Mother and Sri Aurobindo, my pranam to all the children of the Mother. Following up the questions I have received from you all. First question, what are the possible reasons of disharmony in a collective mother's work and how to overcome it? Sri Aurobindo was asked this question. Sri Aurobindo said the very nature of humanity, the very presence of human nature creates disharmony. Every doubt. The nature of man and of things is at present a discord, a harmony that has got out of tune. The whole heart and action and mind of man must be changed, but from within, not from without, not by political and social institutions, not even by creeds and philosophies, but by the realization of God in ourselves and the world, and a remolding of life by that realization. This can only be effected by Purna Yoga, a yoga not devoted to a particular purpose, even though that purpose be mukti or ananda, but to the fulfillment of the divine humanity in ourselves and others. So in a paragraph he has answered everything. He said the cause of disharmony is human consciousness. At present, it is responsible for disharmony. And solution lies not in outer means, but by inner means, that is divine manifestation in our consciousness. That will solve the problem. In detail if we will go, what are the causes of disharmony? The Mother said the first cause of disharmony is the human nature lacks the goodwill for all. It has goodwill for those to whom he has attachments. It has goodwill for those who are under his ego. It has no goodwill for the enemies. So as long as the goodwill is not for all, because divine is in everyone, even in the enemy. So if you have no goodwill for the people who are so-called enemies, then you are dividing the divine into two parts. That is creating disharmony. Mother has said, goodwill for all and goodwill for all and goodwill from all is the basis of peace and harmony. This is the secret of harmony. And she has advised, do something every day, some activity, some work, anything, something which is not for oneself, and above all, something which is an expression of goodwill for all. Every day you have to do some activity, you have to find out what is possible for you at your own level, which is not for yourself. You will find that whole day is spent for ourselves only, directly or indirectly. So that will not create harmony. We have to spend our time, maybe little time, for all, not even particular group. If we spend our time for a particular group, that also creates disharmony. There should not be any groupism also here. Even in terms of religion, Hindus spend time for development of the Hindu, Muslims for the Muslim, and Christians for the Christian. And once mother was asked that Christian people they are getting united now. Mother said it is a bad news, because in the same way Hindus will be also united, in the same way Muslims will be also united. The fight will be stronger. All the group will become stronger, then the fight will be stronger. If all together will be united, then it will become spiritual. That is why either all religions have to be united, or religion has to disappear. We have to go beyond religion. Then only harmony is possible. If any sect is getting stronger, naturally the counter sect will get stronger. Suppose you are in a street. If the street people get united, then the another street people also will get united. That is the natural nature of humanity. If India is getting united, so naturally Pakistan will get united. The fight will be stronger, the disharmony will be stronger. So as long as we are united partially, that will create disharmony more. So goodwill for all is the challenge for us. It is a real challenge for us. How a goodwill for all will be created. That is possible only when you find divine in everybody. Otherwise it is not possible. When you find the divine presence in your enemy also, then you can love. You can fight with love. Mother has said, if necessary you can fight. Arjuna fought with his gurus with love. Because fighting was necessary. Sri Krishna wanted that there should be a war. But out of love, out of regard, he fought. So we can fight even, but goodwill must be there. Then only harmony is possible. Otherwise, we will only talk about harmony. We will have so many meetings for harmony. And those meetings will only create another disharmony. So mother used to say that whenever there is a meeting, don't try to put your, don't try to insist your point of view. You can put up your point of view and call the divine presence. Whatever the best will happen, everybody. But we generally try to insist our point of view. That creates disharmony. That is what the second point Mother says, that believing own partial discoveries of the truth as complete and only truth. This is another limitation of human being. Whatever I have realized, it is not a total realization, it is partial realization. But I believe that it is the only truth. Giving no space to other partial discoveries of the truth. I don't give any space to other discoveries. If any other person has said something, I don't give any place. So that is the whole cause of disharmony. Believing what I realized is a total truth, only truth, and not giving any space to other realizations. Second point, the third point is, we may accept others' partial realization, but we have no capacity to unify the partial realizations into a greater realization. We don't have the capacity to place those partial realizations in proper place. That is another problem. Integrating the different realizations. Every relation has its place. If you place wrongly, that will create disharmony. Just like there is a vehicle, there are different parts. If you put the parts in right place, they will function. The vehicle will move. If you put tire, wheel in the place of steering, and steering in the place of wheel, and passenger in place of driver, and conductor in place of passenger, what will happen to that vehicle? It is the same thing. We may accept all partial relations, but we do not have the knowledge how to place it properly. Then also there will be disharmony. So how it is possible? Mother said only the supramental force has the capacity to place every partial relation in its proper place. No other consciousness, it may be overmind also, it has no capacity to place every partial relation in its proper place. So we have to come to the mother, because mother is the embodiment of supramental force. So it will be very easier for us, because supramental is something we cannot conceive. But in case of mother, she is very practical for us. So we have to turn to the mother. That is why Sri Aurobindo said, those who turn to the mother are doing my yoga. Simple. Mother is the goal. Everything is in her. If she is found, everything is found. If she is attained, all is attained. If you dwell in her consciousness, everything else unfolds by itself. This is Sri Aurobindo told. So, unless and until we accept the supramental force, that is the force of, that force has the power to unify, force of harmony. The whole humanity cannot be harmonized. Fourth one is, instead of looking the cause of disharmony in oneself, human nature tries to find out the cause of disharmony in others. Okay, the causes are in others also, but you have to start from yourself. But unfortunately, everybody starts from others. You are responsible, you are responsible. What about you? I am okay. No doubt that everybody is responsible, but when you start, you have to start from yourself. Then you will find the key for others also. So, instead of looking the cause of disharmony in oneself, human nature tries to find out the cause of disharmony in others. That is the cause why we are creating disharmony. Fifth point is, instead of doing work from universal point of view, human nature tries to work from individual point of view. That is another cause of disharmony. Suppose a vehicle is there, a part. If it is not manufactured according to the need of the bus or anyway car, however qualitative part you may manufacture, it will not be used by the vehicle. So, qualitatively it must be individualistic, but as far as size is concerned, it must be related to which it is used. Similarly, every individual, qualitatively he has to do personal sadhana, and he has to look out his position in the universality. According to the universal need, he has to prepare himself. What is his swadharma in the totality? These two must go together. But unfortunately, those who are trying to perfect themselves, they do everything from their point of view. It is not, I am not talking of ego point of view, I am talking of psychic point of view also. That is also not enough. because from the totality he has to fit himself. Psychic point of view prepares his quality to sadhana. Individually, his sadhana is okay. But as far as totality is concerned, he has to find out his place. So collective and individual, both must go together, and one must have the universal vision. Accordingly, you have to prepare himself. Then only harmony is possible. Otherwise, you may be very good sadhak, always remembering mother and doing sadhana, but you are unfit for the transformation. For transformation, both must go together, individual and collective. These are the main 5 points I have collected from Mother St. Aurobindo work. There are so many sub-points also, but these are the main points of disharmony, and we can solve disharmony if we follow, if we comply these 5 points in true way. Second question is, generally we all know or hear that doubt is a deadly poison. How does it affect from sadhana point of view? What are the benefits of pursuing the path of faith? Doubt and suspicion both are great hindrances in the progress of spiritual practice. No doubt they destroy the superstitions. Doubt, the benefit of doubt is they destroy the superstitions, but they also destroy our faith. Doubt and suspicion are needed to some extent in ordinary life, because in ordinary life there are more superstitions as compared to the faith. Ordinary people have more superstitions. So the doubt will help them to destroy the superstitions. But in the field of sadhana, the slightest doubt and suspicion destroys all higher possibilities. Slightest doubt destroys all the possibilities. So if we want to do sadhana, faith is must. Mother says, communists preach doubt. Then if anybody has come, they will start from doubt. Unless he proved himself to be honest, I will treat you as a dishonest person. That is the communism. And we also adopting audit work. No? Those who are the auditors, they assume that this office is corrupted, unless and until they find that they are not corrupted. Mother says we start just from opposite side. Whatever they are, we start with faith that they are good. Why? Because a person has both good and bad qualities. Every person. Every person has good and bad qualities. If I believe that you are good, I am creating an atmosphere so that your good qualities will come forward. You will become good. If I say no, you are bad, the bad qualities within you will come forward. And your bad qualities will bring me more, you will make me more bad, because you have created another bad vibration around me. So within me some bad qualities are already there, they will come forward. And I will again believe you more bad. This is a vicious circle, there is no end to it. Similarly, faith is also. If you believe a thief as a good person, he is not absolutely thief. He is not a... So, a good qualities will come forward, he may leave his profession. So always faith contributes the society towards the development, and doubt always destroys the society. Mother says, doubt is it is just the opposite what I am saying. Doubt is the poison which drops by drop corrodes our soul. The possibility of soul is destroyed with doubt. We must decide to get out all doubts. They are among the worst enemies of our progress. Worst enemies of our progress. Sri Aurobindo says, doubt puts us in a vicious circle. Doubt exists for its own sake. Its very function is to doubt always. Even when convinced, go on doubting. If you are convinced again, you will say, no, that may be the reason for that person, not for me. Or here it may not be applied. So it will go on creating doubt. There is no end to it. Go on doubting still. How can doubt be overcome? By the growth of psychic in him, or by an enlargement of his consciousness, not otherwise. If our consciousness is not widened, or our psychic has not come forward, this doubt will not go out. It will be there. If you give scope to the mind always have the suspicion. It will create doubts. It will have its own logic. Mother Sri Aurobindo said, if I will convince you in 1,000 ways, you will come with another reason. There is no solution to it. Unless and until psychic comes forward, or you enlarge your consciousness, the doubt will not disappear. What are the benefits of pursuing the path of faith? If we pursue the path of faith, what are the benefits? Mother Sri Aurobindo said, faith is nothing but a gleam before sunrise. That means sun has not risen, but it gives you intimation that I am getting ready. So you also get ready. So it is an intimation of future, what is going to happen, a knowledge. Faith is the intimation of knowledge. Knowledge itself is coming in the form of faith to give us, to intimate us that I am coming.
How do you strengthen the faith?
Yeah?
How do you strengthen the faith?
Yeah, I will tell you. So this is the reason. If you have faith, you will walk in the path of knowledge, because it intimates the road, it shows the road. Strengthening of faith, Mother says, that if you move around the people, those who have faith, it will strengthen your faith. If you move around the people who have the doubts, it will weaken your faith. That is why satsang. Satsang does not mean that all people sitting together. Those who believe in Sat, truth. When they are united, then the faith in everybody will increase. Suppose we believe in truth, we believe in Mother. If we are sitting together, then everybody's faith will increase. Another thing is that the faith is a gift of the divine. It has been given to everybody. By aspiration, by sincerity, the power of faith will grow. It is given in the seed form, it is given to everybody. If you aspire, Mother, develop my faith. If you are sincere in your work, if you are sincere in your sadhana, the situations will be created in such a way that the faith in Mother will grow. If you are not sincere, the situations will be in such a way that faith in the Mother will decrease. So sincerity and aspiration and satsang, these are the criteria through which the faith will be strengthened. Second benefit is that it is the strongest start towards sadhana. There are many forces which help us in sadhana, just like knowledge and our all activities. The force is also faith is also a force which is the surest guide in the darkest days, Mother says. Which is the surest guide in the darkest days. In the darkest days you don't see anything, but there is only one ray of hope, that is faith, and it will never deceive you. A faith will never deceive you. Ultimately you will reach there to which you have faith. If you have faith in the divine, definitely you will reach to the divine one day or tomorrow. So faith is the surest guide towards the divine. And another benefit is that it will interfere your destiny. It has the power to interfere your destiny. Destiny means according to your karma, you have to face your life. That is your destiny. If you have faith in the divine, He can change your destiny also. So faith has the power to change your destiny. Then another thing is that greatest protection in the sadhana you will find because of faith. The greatest protection you will find in the sadhana because of faith. If you have faith, Mother has given an example. If somebody wants to kill me, if I don't have the faith, then I will have the fear. Those who don't have the faith, they will have the fear.
If faith is the prerequisite of everything, if faith is the prerequisite of everything, the sadhana, the spiritual person, how does it start for a layman?
Layman starts with situation. So many situations will slowly tell him.
Suffering.
Sufferings and situations will slowly tell him that you see, you have to depend on the force, a greater force, unseen force for him. So slowly he will come to he will be attracted towards the true force. Always situations will bring him. So, protection, I was telling that if I have no faith, if one person wanted to kill me, Mother says he will be successful. Because you have fear. Fear means it will attract the things. It will attract the bad things to happen. So he will be successful. If you have faith, at the same time, if you have 50-50, doubt and faith, he will not be able to kill, but he will make you injury. Because you have some faith, it will save to some extent. He will injure you. He will not be able to kill you. If you have complete faith down to the cells of the body, Mother says he will not be able to touch you. Such a great protection the faith can give. These are the points, the benefits of the faith in our journey. Mother says that according to your faith, you receive the grace from the Mother. In proportionate of your faith, you will receive the grace. If you believe that He will do everything for you, He will do everything for you. If you will think that no, He will not do everything because I am a common man, so you will not receive the total. According to your faith, you will receive. If you will feel that he is very cruel, the situations will prove that he is very cruel. So according to your faith, you will see the whole world. Faith is your eye. So develop your faith as best you can. And that is the surest way to succeed in sadhana. Another question is, what does non-being means? Each atom has divine presence in everything. Each atom has divine presence. So everything is Sat. Then how to understand Asat? There are no opposites. Opposites are created by the mind. Everything, there is divine, Sarvam Khalidam Brahma. There is nothing opposite. We say that hostile forces are there, these are there. They are created at a particular point of consciousness. But if you go to the origin, only divine exists, nothing. So, pure being and non-being, they are not opposite things, contrary things. They are complementary things. Just like for ordinary consciousness, darkness is the opposite of light, is it not? But truly, darkness is not opposite of light. The light which you cannot perceive, you call it darkness. There is only light. That is why which you cannot perceive, a cat can perceive, is it not? Because it has larger capacity to perceive the light. That is why in darkness also it can see. That means that does not mean that darkness it can see. That is light. We are unable to see. So there is no opposite. There is light and darkness. These are not two things. Only one thing is there. That is light. The light you cannot. That below your capacity you cannot see. Above your capacity also you cannot see. When there is a great focusing of light in front of you, you will say, oh, dark, everything becomes dark. Is it not? Beyond your capacity, below your capacity, you call it just opposite. They are not opposites. Similarly, non-being and being. Being which can be realized in the human consciousness, siddhis, the greater siddhis, can go up to the being experience, which it cannot experience, it calls as non-being. But actually there is nothing, the word is not available. Sat and Asat also same thing. Sri Aurobindo said, we called zero as nothing. Is it not? Huh? Actually, what Sri Aurobindo says, zero is incalculable infinite. Zero is, we call nothing. What Sri Aurobindo says, zero is incalculable infinite. That is why you see, if zero is nothing, then if you put zero in the side of 1, how it becomes 10? If zero is nothing. If zero is put in below 1, it becomes infinite. Mathematics says. If zero is nothing, then how powerful it is that it can make 1 into infinite, it can make 1 into 1000, it can make 1 into crores. How it is possible? Because zero, we call zero nothing because we have no capacity to perceive incalculable infinite. Actually, zero is defined as incalculable infinite. So, Sat is that which we can perceive in our experience, in the highest experience of human can go to that extent. That we call Sat. Asat is not opposite. That Sat which we cannot perceive. That is Asat. Another question is, Sri Aurobindo said, ego was the helper, ego is the bar. Now at this present state of humanity, where do we stand? How much ego is necessary now? If the ego will be removed completely from us with immediate effect, what will happen to us? What is ego? You see, during construction of the building, roof construction, we use steel plates and pipes as support to hold that roof. So it is required for 21 days. It is a helper. These things help the roof to sustain. After 21 days, they will become barrier. Because for which you have constructed the roof, to stay in the home, they will not allow you to stay. You have to remove those pipes and steel plates, everything. It is the same thing with ego. Nature has created ego, has given charge to ego to construct our physical being. Mother said, physical being construction was made because of ego. Ego has created. It has created out of subconscient. We have come out of subconscient and inconscient. Ego has made us. We are individual now because of ego. Ego makes us feel that I am different, I am separate. If I will say that you are nothing, he will say, I will prove that I am everything. So that is the ego. Ego makes you separate individual. So as long as physical being is not constructed, ego is the helper. Once it is constructed, it is completely made. It will not allow the divine to operate. Just like the pillars, the pipes and plates will not allow us to stay in the house which we have built. Similarly, once the physical being is constructed, whatever it is constructed, divine will live in this physical being so that one becomes many. That is the purpose of creation. He is one. He wants to become many. How he will become many? There will be so many houses, no? So many temples, we can say. Physical being is a temple for him. He will stay there. He will stay there. This ego will not allow him to stay. So it is a barrier. That is why mother says, tell your ego that your hour is come. Suppose a contractor has constructed a house for you, and after construction he has to give you, or he will stay. If he wants to stay, then we will tell him that your hour is gone. You have done your work. Take your remuneration, whatever you want. But we have to live. It is the same thing with ego. Once your physical being is constructed, you have to tell your ego that your hour is gone. Who will come? Divine will replace. Psychic being will take the place of ego. So, you have to know where you are. Collectively we have reached to the point, mother said, that the hour of ego is gone, collectively. But as far as the individual is concerned, he has to discover where he is. Accordingly, he will replace his ego with divine consciousness. So, be aware of your ego always. It is deceptive, very difficult to recognize the ego. Especially ordinary man, in case of ordinary man it is perceived, it can be perceived. For sadhakas it is very difficult. Because their ego is in the form of humility. everybody will say he is a very nice person. And he feels that I am different. So, it is very difficult to discover the ego of the great sadhakas. That is why his mother has said, never listen to any sadhaka. Never listen to any sadhaka, especially advanced sadhaka. Have you read this passage? Because the more we have the experience, if you are not conscious, very few people are conscious, the more you have the experience and knowledge, the ego parallelly grows. More dangerous they are. They will make sishyas. They will become gurus. So they are very dangerous, very much dangerous. Very few people who can grow and discover their ego and overcome their ego, both simultaneously. Very few people. That is why Mother has warned us. Don't listen to any sadhaka, especially advanced sadhaka. Because of this ego. Very difficult to recognize the ego for the great peoples. We worship them as God. Without knowing, we are worshipping the big ego. The nature has used ego to form our physical individuality. Now the physical individuality is formed for those who are feeling suffocation of egoistic life. How will you know that your physical being is ready? You feel suffocation of your ego. You don't insist your ego, you feel suffocation. Wherever you feel there is ego, you feel suffocate. Then you are ready to overcome your ego. It is the time for the birth of egoless race. Supramental race will be the egoless race. These people, those who feel suffocation of their egoistic life, can overcome their egoistic life by awakening their psychic being. Sri Aurobindo said, it is the psychic inmost being that replaces the ego. It is the psychic inmost being that replaces the ego. And how it will replace? It is through love and surrender to the divine. The psychic being becomes stronger and manifest so that it can replace the ego. He has given beautiful solutions through love and surrender. These are the two ways through which the psychic will become stronger and ego will be replaced. Then another question is, what is central will and its role in sadhana? True central will is the individualized expression of the divine will situated in psychic being. True individual will, a central will. But unfortunately, our central will is situated in vital, in physical or mental. Those whose central will is situated in the physical, we call them physical man, material man. Those whose central will is situated in vital, we call them vital man. Those whose central will is situated in mental, we call them mental man. Means their major portion, their leader is mind. Mind is leading their life. Their central will is in the mind, situated in the mind. Some people are vitalistic, ambitious, want to do very impossible works, desires are full of desires, and they are vitalistic people. So So their central will is situated in vital. Whatever they do, they will see that whether the importance is given to them or not, whether their ambition is fulfilled or not, whether their desires are not fulfilled. So they are vitalistic. Vital, their central will is situated in the vital. Those who are living with the habits, sleeping means sleeping. Whatever they are habituated, they will not change their habit. They are living in the material level. So when the central will come to the psychic, that is what the role of sadhana. Bring up your psychic, your central will to the psychic. How? That every time you have to ask your within, what you want. My mind wants this. My vital wants this. My physical wants this. Suppose we have study circle now here. Before coming, your physical will say, let me sleep here. Your vital will say, let me enjoy here. Your mind will say, so many theories it will give. And your psychic will say, let me go there. To which you are listening, that will become powerful. So if you go on listening to your inner voice.
So many don't have this inner at all.
Huh?
So many are unable to recognize the inner. It is not there at all for them.
Yeah, that is what I am saying. Unless and until we are becoming sincere day by day, sincerity will open our eye. So as long as we are not sincere, we will see the just opposite. Good as bad, bad as good. So once we become sincere, sincerity means what are you within, you are also externally. There is transparency. That is sincerity. What you say, you mean that, and you feel that. That is sincerity.
Sir, that is an ongoing battle with every individual.
Yeah.
What he is inside and what he projects himself as are different. If that battle is won, everything is won, isn't it?
No, the proportion is different. Proportion is not same in all. Proportion is different. Suppose you are trying to do sadhana every day, then your sincerity will grow, your transparency will grow. It is not same for all. Yes, everybody has some insincerity, has some sincerity, but the proportion varies. So, whole purpose of our sadhana, that we have to take up our central will to the psychic. That is what Sri Aurobindo says. Mother says that you must find your central being with the psychic as its basis and live in it. You must find your central being means psychic being will become central being when the central will and psychic being are one and the same position. That is central being. Sri Aurobindo says, the main failure, the root of the whole failure indeed is that man has not been able to shift upward his central will to the divine. That is the main failure of the humanity, that he is unable to lift up his central will to the divine.
How one can lift it under what?
The Mother has given us that aspiration. It is the very powerful thing that Mother divine has given to all. Aspiration. Through aspiration only you can achieve impossibles. Of course, for aspiration you must have the faith. Otherwise, how can you will aspire? These things are there. But aspiration is the secret of doing impossible things. So you have to aspire, go on aspiring, and this aspiration, what will think? It will bring down the grace to do impossible. You will not be able to do by yourself. Aspiration will bring down the grace. Grace will do everything for you. So you go on aspiring. There is no limit for the aspiration. And for grace, nothing is impossible, Mother has said.
Thank you.
Another question is, what is the role of Sri Aurobindo Ashram, Aurobindo, Sri Aurobindo Society and Sri Aurobindo centers across the world? The mother undertook the work, Mother has said. The mother undertook the work of creating new world, a new humanity, a new society, expressing and embodying the new consciousness. This is the work Mother has undertaken. What is the work? The work of creating a new world, a new humanity, a new society, expressing the embodying the new consciousness. This is the work. This work is done. Mother has created Sri Aurobindo Ashram, Mother has created Aurobindo, Mother has created Sri Aurobindo Society, only to do this work, but differently. The role of Sri Aurobindo Ashram does the work in a concentrative and interior way. That is the role. Role of ashram is concentrative and interior way. It will not be exposed. Just like the work done in the laboratory. In the laboratory, they are doing work, scientists. It is very concentrative and interior. The role of Aurobindo does the work in expansive and more exterior way. So society is included, all activities are taken into account along with their conditions. In ashram, marriage is not allowed, but in Aurobindo, marriage is allowed. But the condition is that not to enjoy, but to overcome. You have to overcome your limitation, not to enjoy your. So the objective is the same, creating new world. But ashram is very in a laboratory form, and Aurobindo is in factory form. So here it is something external, it goes external. And society, Sri Aurobindo Society does the work by spreading the message of new creation throughout the world for creating new Sri Aurobindo centers. So ashram is a laboratory, Aurobindo is a factory. And Sri Aurobindo Society is to spread this work throughout the world so that small centers will be created throughout the world. What will be the role of centers? They will create a living commune. The aspiring group, through study circle, our aspirations will grow. So similar group will form. They will live together. Unless you live together, you cannot change anything. You are staying in your home. He is staying in your home. Once a blue moon, you are coming here and reading something and going back and repeating the same thing, whatever you are doing. By that, real change will not happen. Real change will happen when the similar aspiring group will form a commune and live together for that work. The same work what Sri Aurobindo Ashram is doing in different way. This work, this small commune will get inspiration from ashram, inspiration from Aurobindo, and it will follow according to its own need. It has own unique way. So there will be thousands and crores of little living communes. Those who will live the truth. Now we are in study circle discussing about the truth. No? It will not change. It will only create. It is only initiator for the commune, living commune, where the similar aspiring group will form a group, small group. So many groups may be formed in Bangalore. 10 to 12 persons, they can create a commune, live together for the great purpose. The ego-based life will not be there now. Our family is ego-based family. Ego is ruling. Husband has a claim over the wife. Now there will be a family. The family will be based on the love, not ego. So new combination will be formed based on love and aspiration. For that, these study circles are being made. So those living communes, what they will do? With their living experiments, they will create a situation where the Gnostic society will be formed. That will bring about the supramental being. These are the steps. First, Sri Aurobindo Ashram, then Aurobindo, then society. These three will give rise small study circles everywhere, study centers. These study centers will inspire the aspiring commune to form where they will live together, and that will again create a Gnostic society. Gnostic society will create an atmosphere where the supramental beings will descend. This is the whole role of everything. So this is the point where from study circle to living commune is a very difficult task, because we are so much attached to our egoistic family life. Suppose I will tell you, in Bangalore you form different communes. Very difficult to come out from your egoistic life, egoistic family, to form a family based on love and aspiration. If your own family have that same aspiration, automatically they will come to you. Otherwise they will not come to you. Are you ready? No, because we have attachment towards them. So it is very difficult to travel from study centers to living commune. Unless living commune is not formed, there will not be a Gnostic society. Unless the Gnostic society is not formed, the supramental being will not descend. These are the processes. So we must get ready. We are sticking up to a particular level always. Whole life is sticking up only to the extent of Pathachakra, because Pathachakra you need not compromise your attachment. No? So it is very easy. You have your own attachment. Once you open a blue time, you come here, and that is also, the time is fixed to suit you. Otherwise you will not come. Is it not? Huh?
One question. One man's perfection can change the world. What about this?
What?
One man's perfection can change the world. What about this?
But Mother has said, one man perfection needs collective change. That you have not read. Because what happens to us, that we read a particular sentence, believing that one man's perfection will change the world. But how that one man's perfection will be possible unless the collective change, one man's perfection is not possible. That is why even single avatar cannot change the world, Mother has said. A single avatar cannot change the world unless the collectivity responds it. So there is always a collectivity need. One man's perfection can change the world means one man's perfection in consciousness can inspire everybody to change. Yeah. So that inspiration, because collective rule is different. My change in myself will not automatically change the world. I will become the fittest instrument for the changing world.
Yes. We have that aspiration.
We must have. Otherwise, Mother Sri Aurobindo said, those souls who do not aspire are God's failure. If we don't aspire, this life is waste. Whatever you have done, you may be Prime Minister, but your life is waste from the spiritual point of view. The souls that do not aspire are God's failure. Another question is, at present it seems like most of us who follow Sri Aurobindo are now trying to catch media by organizing big rallies and meetings. Is ego to forge ahead different from others? And if yes, how? What should be our attitude when we try to spread Sri Aurobindo? See, your mother has very clearly mentioned what is her work. Mother has said, it is very modest, nothing showy about it. It takes years and years of silent, quiet and extremely careful work before there can be any visible and tangible results, before anything can be noticed. This is the mother's work. And ego to forget, ego means trying to do mother's work. This is its ideal. Of course, we are not so perfect. Naturally, there will be some mistakes. But we want to do this work collectively in silent way. So what mother has said, very modest and silent way, nothing showy about it. It takes years and years of silent, quiet and extremely careful work before there can be any visible and tangible results, before anything can be noticed. This is what Ego to Forget group is trying. But how far they are successful depends on their sincerity. Because human nature always comes forward, takes up the advantage out of it. Another question is, in the mother's dream city, how can everyone get equal opportunity to serve and organize instead of position and status? Mother has tried in ashram, but success depends on the people who are doing sadhana. But mother has tried. Mother said, I do not give any position to any sadhana. I give them work, and to all I give equal opportunity. It is those who prove to be most capable and most sincere, honest and faithful that have the biggest amount of work and greatest responsibility. We object now, why more work is given to me? That is the grace given to the sincere people. If you have more work, mother has given you more work, more responsibility. That is a special grace given to the sincere people. But that is not a position. If you are president of this institution, it is not authority. It is to do more work. It is to do more work than others. It is an opportunity to do more work. Unfortunately, we have that old human consciousness. I am president, you have to listen to me. Those things are coming because immediately it will not go out. Anyway, if you are not president, you are very nice. Once you become president, you also start. Because that is within everybody. Everybody, it is within, that will come. But still we have to be conscious and remember this message that position is not important. Mothers doing work, more mothers work, taking more responsibility of mothers work is an opportunity for our transformation. Similarly, in the society, they have developed the system democracy, which wants to give equal opportunity to all, but failed because mother says, Sri Aurobindo said, it is only in the namesake democracy which hides and covers all inequalities. All inequalities it only covers up because human nature it comes up. So democracy is only in the name, but true equal opportunity is not given. It only covers up in beautiful languages and beautiful words, beautiful rules and regulations. But in case of application, it is not possible. Why it is not possible? Sri Aurobindo says, all human ideals move round in a vicious circle of ego. So what has to be done? Sri Aurobindo was asked, what can man do to get out of this vicious circle? Sri Aurobindo says, you must go beyond humanity. Humanity means humanity is based on ego. you must go beyond humanity. And mother says, we want a race that has no ego. Hence the important thing now is to find the psychic being, unite it with it, allow it to replace the ego, which will be forced either to convert itself or disappear. Ego either will be converted or will disappear. There is another question. Sri Aurobindo said in the mother book, some even put a ban on money and riches and proclaim poverty and barrenness of life as the only spiritual condition. But this is an error. It leaves the power in the hands of hostile forces. Likewise, nowadays, some Hindu people are not willing to marry or have children, whereas Muslims are increasing their children. In this trend, if this trend continues, what will happen to our great Sanatana Dharma and the progress of the earth? Just like rejecting money, it will go to hostile force. Rejecting marriage will also go to hostile force. There he has come back. It is not the same thing. It is just two. There are two different issues, totally. So, in case of marriage, what mother was asked, what is marriage? Marriage is to organize the animal way of procreation. Animal way of procreation, animals are doing, we are also doing, but in an organized way. That is marriage. Okay. Now, the nature is changing its process. Just like we had 2G mobile. When 3G has come, are you continuing with 2G now? Of course, in villages, so many people still they have Nokia phone they are using now. But what happens? Those who have 3G, they are now using 3G. After 3G, we have reached 4G. Now they have declared 5G. Similarly, nature is also changing its process. But we want to cling into the previous process, thinking that that is alone the truth. Without procreation in animal way, there will be no procreation. Without sex, there will be no procreation. We think that that is only the truth. But that is only one among the many processes of the nature. Nature has so many processes. Previously also it had no sex process. Amoeba and everything, it had no sex process. It has multiplied itself. In between it has adopted a sex process. Now there is a beautiful process where the energy will not be lost. That is, when you make your cells conscious, it can form a body within yourself. So the energy is vested in sex, has to be uplifted to make your body conscious, your cells conscious, so that if you want to leave the body, then now we are compelled to leave body because of accidents, because of food shortage and everything, so many situations. At that time, these all external situations will not be there. Only one situation, because you can leave your body, that is if you want to change your body. Then what will happen? Your conscious cells have the power to form a new body within yourself and leave the outer body. Just like a butterfly is leaving its outer body, caterpillar body, and becoming a butterfly. Similarly, we will all have the capacity to form a new body if we want. If we don't want, we can continue with the same body. Because the external situation will not able to kill us after supramental manifestation. After supermental being. So now the beautiful option has come, but we don't want. We want to continue 3G. Production is already stopped. Old Nokia we are repairing and using. So it is not the same thing. Why? If you don't want to marry means you are making yourself fit for the next process. You are not going against the society. You are beautifying the society. Because animal process is replaced by the divine process. So these are the questions. I have tried to cover all. If you have any question, you can ask.
How do you convert the ego and what do you want it to convert to?
Hmm?
You said convert the ego into what?
Yeah, ego means a separative consciousness. I am separate from others, that is ego. Psychic consciousness has a uniqueness, it will have the unique, but it will not have the separate consciousness. It will not cut others. Ego cuts others. That is the difference. There will be a sense of unity, union. At the same time, you do not lose your uniqueness. Suppose there is a garland. There are flowers in the garland. Each flower feels that I am a garland, but it do not lose its uniqueness. The rose has its unique rose flower. Rose is a unique rose flower. All flowers do not lose their uniqueness. At the same time, they do not feel that they are individual flower. They feel that they are garland. That is the replacement.
Somebody makes the garland and there are different flowers.
Huh?
There are different flowers in a garland.
Yeah.
Somebody makes a garland. And who is that somebody here?
Mother.
Who makes all of us?
Mother. Mother. It is the supramental consciousness can only make the garland. Till now it was not possible, that is why you talked of nirvana and mukti. Only the supramental force can form a garland where uniqueness can be preserved.
What about psychic ego?
Psychic ego is there, but egoism is not there. When psychic comes, that is what I have said, that when psychic comes, it has called its uniqueness now. It will disappear only when supramental will manifest. Till that there will be a sense of separation to some extent. That is psychic ego.
Is it like when you have the separativeness, the ego is helping, and when you try to understand others as you identify with others, there is the helper, and automatically the ego will be crumbled down?
No. There also you place yourself at the center. You try to understand others. You have sympathy for others.
No, not the sympathy. Like when you try to understand every aspect of the thing. Like, I create my identity as well as I am understanding others. I identify with others. Like, I don't have that much separativeness from others. So that time will be the...
Yes, that is effort, but that effort has to be tuned with the divine.
Yeah.
Otherwise you will have another form of ego.
And
That will, you will think that you see how beautifully I am understanding everybody. Nobody is able. No, that will come if you don't attune with the divine. That will take a deceptive form. Ego knows how to hide itself in different way.
And is it when you carry humility within, and when you don't portray, like inward you feel, that you have to do, that also helping the ego to...
No, that is different, because you have said, pride has an ego, at the same time humility has also ego.
Yeah.
So you have to see that is it not behind your humility, ego is taking shelter.
And when you are humiliation, you are like humility, you are carrying humility towards the mother.
Only. That is the secret of humility. We think that we should be humble to everybody. That enhances our ego.
You understand others as well as carrying humility within.
That is through mother. You have to establish the relationship with others. Only mother, none other. If others through mother. This is the way how you can surpass your ego.
Ego is a force or is a kind of an energy?
Deformed force. It is a divine force. Deformed. It is deformed. There is no force which is not divine.
So it could act in a thousands ways in different, kind of levels.
Yeah.
If I am doing some, prayer also.
There also it acts.
Ego will act. Right?
It acts everywhere. You have to recognize.
Yes.
Then surrender.
Yes. How do we need that exactly?
Sincerity. How do you means you will not know through mind. Sincerity will make you know, hey, you are hiding there. As long as you ask questions, how, there will be no answer, there will be more house.
Put it here, it will not fall down.
Yeah, it is very.
Excuse me, can you explain in detail how to bring the psychic to the front?
A mother has beautifully said about how to bring about psychic. First is, psychic nature is that it always wants to give, not to take. If I go to divine, what for I am going to divine? Please give this, please give that, please. That is not the psychic nature. Psychic nature will say, what can I contribute to you? So if you practice this practice, psychic naturally will come forward. Always we are going to temple. What we are doing? We are giving coconut to the God. In exchange, so many things. Divine actually full, he is full. Taking small thing and giving big things. Isn't it? So, as long as our relationship with the divine is always a commercial bargaining, is it not? That is not the nature of psychic. Psychic has a joy of giving. If you practice joy of giving, naturally psychic will come forward. This is one thing. Second is love for all. Love for all. In spite of his enemy or whoever it is. True love. You see, the mother has said 3 rounds of love, 4 rounds of love. One is, I love you. No. Love must start from you. I love you because you are loving me. If you ask me, why you are not loving me? He is not loving me. Simple. Have you come to his function? No, he has not come to my function. No, his elder brother has come. His son has come. So my son will come. He has given you 100 rupees. I will also give you 101 rupees. This is the very lower form of love. We have all. We have kept a book also. Who has come to our function? How much they have given? Is it not? So, this is a very lower form of love. Second form of love is, love starts from me. But to whom I am loving, he must love me, otherwise I am ready to kill him. I will put acid on him. That is dangerous love. Though generosity has started from myself, but that is a very dangerous. That is the second form of love. Third form of love is, love I start love from me. Whether he loves me or not, I continue to love. But if he loves, I feel, oh, nowadays everything is well, the divine is there, everything is good. If he do not love me, my mood is off. Nowadays you see, in spite of doing something, nobody is ready. I go to depression. So that is the third form of love. Fourth form of love is true love. That is a love for the sake of love. I love because I cannot live without love. That is my breathing. Just like when you put ice anywhere, it will water will fall from it. Why? Because it is composed of water. Similarly, I am made up with love. Whoever he may be enemy. True love has no reason, no season. I will love in this particular season. No. I will love a particular reason because of this I am loving. No. The true love has no reason, no season. So that love will change everything.
We have a question. What is desire soul? How to get rid of it and reach the soul? Is psychic being is different from our soul.
Yeah. The desire soul is a vital desire, that's all. It is formed so powerfully that becomes individualized. That is why it is called desire soul. It is a vital power. Nothing to do with soul.
So what about the second part of the question? What is soul, what is psychic being? Is it the same? He was asking.
No, soul and psychic being are different. Soul is the divine presence within us. That is the pure part. You see, everything is divine, but everything is deformed except something within us which is not deformed. That is we call the soul. When soul is coming, taking birth and birth and birth, slowly developing a personality, divine personality. That divine personality is psychic.
Why we need to liberate soul, right? Soul is already liberated. We have to liberate vital, mind, physical. Why to liberate soul?
No, that is only way of speaking. Mother has said, liberating soul is a way of speaking. Actually, soul is not liberated. It is always, it is changing the mind and body and vital. That is why, that is the name we are giving like that. Actually, it is, soul is not liberated. Soul is always liberated.
But why they say old soul, young soul?
In terms of experience, you see, we are sitting together, everybody has soul. Some people want divine more than me. He is a senior soul. I want ordinary life more than the divine. I am a junior soul. So accordingly, because of my state of external consciousness, I define.
But it is the mother who described the psychic being, no? There was nobody earlier who...
Yeah, because it was not necessary. There was a psychic feeling within so many people, but it was not necessary because psychic role is to divinize body, mind and vital. It was not necessary previously because everybody thought that these are mithya. We have to release these things and go our individual soul and mix up with the Paramatma. So these are not necessary. That is why though they had some psychic realization, they did not give any importance to it.
Psychic being grows as you evolve, isn't it?
So it will create a divine individuality. It will replace the ego individuality into the divine individuality, and spiritualization will unify all the individualities. Spiritualization and supramentalization will give permanency to it. These are the difference. Psychic being, if it is coming forward, we will become individual in divine way, not egoistic way. When we attune ourselves with the spiritual activities, that means universal consciousness and transcendental consciousness, we are attuned with it. There is a union among all individualities, divine individualities, without losing its uniqueness. But permanency is possible only when supramental manifests. Otherwise, you will have the sense of union for some time and it again will come down. Permanency means supramental. You wanted to put a question.
These are very basic questions. Okay, so whenever I go to the ashram, or if I look at mother or children, they have left their family life, moved in. So when I look at me, I'm a family person. Like I have my family, my wife, my parents, and kids, and everything. So the attachment and the expectations are different than a person who is single, staying in the society and following this. Their way of walking our work will be very, very different. Okay, it becomes very difficult for us when you say, okay, you don't have to leave it to mother. If I leave everything to the mother, then I am a different person, right? That is not happening because I am staying around my people. That structure that we are talking about, everyone has a family and they have their. So that also affects me as a person who you say. So my question is that the thing that we are talking about here, I am not seeing someone coming and telling me when you are a family with your father, mother, wife, kids, and all their expectations, all those journeys happening, how do you come out of that? So those type of things I am not seeing. What mother has said, what Sriranga has said, See, I can leave everyone, I can stay in the ashram, then my attitude, my thoughts, everything will change. Okay, how do you overcome that? Staying in the family, with your kids not doing well, getting into something else. How do you get out of? I go to all these things. Then how do you go out?
No, that is. You see, we believe that we are doing.
No, not that. Okay.
I will tell. Prithvi Singh, he had a family. He had a big factory also. So much things. When he came to ashram, by leaving all his family, and said to mother, "The mother, I have come here leaving my family." Mother said, "You were looking after your family. Now I will look after your family. Who can look better way?" We don't have that belief. We think that as a father, I can do better than the divine. That is the problem. We cannot believe when we live for the divine, to whom we are living, he is taking the responsibility. Who can take the responsibility better? That belief we don't have. That is why we think that we have to do, and we go on passing your time. The more you live for the divine in proportionate with that, you will take the responsibility. Sri Aurobindo said, not only your family, to whomever you are related, he will take the responsibility. If you are totally dedicated to the divine, the persons who are related with you, your friends, relatives, your family, all are taken, he will take the responsibility to the extent of their receptivity, of course. So we don't have that belief. That is why we are thinking that we have to, how can we will compel the person who is not wanting divine, he is my son. If he is not wanting me divine, how can I will compel him? No, you have to. I have to inspire that soul.
So faith is the strongest.
Strongest.
Unless you have faith, you can do
you cannot do. That is why faith is a very important factor. What Vibhishana has told to Ravana, tried his level best. After that, he had to leave Ravana and go to Rama. So you cannot, because he is not listening, that is why you cannot compel bring down your higher life to the lower. Suppose you are my friend. Okay, I love you. If you are drinking wine, I will tell you come to Pathachakra, you have come. On the condition that whatever I will tell you come. If you will say that come, let us go and let us have a drink, will I compromise my higher life? We are doing in the same in the family case. We are compromising our higher life for the people. We should try our level best. But there is a point. We cannot compel them. We can inspire them. At a point where there is no possibility, we have to live. That sense is not with us.
And in this condition, ego is the barriers.
Yes, that is also ego. I have a family, I have a father.
They cannot live.
Without me, they cannot live. Tomorrow what will happen to you, you don't know. In the next moment what will happen to you, don't know. But you are thinking, I must be there, otherwise how family will run. These all are ignorance and ego.
But in this integral yoga, it is taught that you don't have to leave this samsara, you don't have to leave this condition.
Who told you?
It is taught.
That is what I am telling you. You are not reading completely.
That's what I am telling
That is what Mother has said. Sri Aurobindo said, all must be accepted, but all must accept the transformation. Which cannot accept the transformation must be left out. That you do not read. So, first part you are reading. If you leave, that will go to the second process. That will also be accepted by the second process of transformation. Slowly everything will be transformed. But you have to separate yourself in the first process. So there are many processes. From all point of view it is okay. That whole world will be transformed. Will a whole humanity will be transferred at once? Then you will not, if you don't leave particular persons back, how you will be transformed? There is a step-by process.
So if the family or the surrounding is synchronized with the thought,
or in this process, then we don't agree with that.
Yes, that is what we are trying. Why we are doing study circles in the home? Be aware. I don't want to leave you. But they are not ready. They are saying that you have to go to film, you have to enjoy, that's all. Don't go to Pathachakra. They restrict also. At that time, what you will do? What you have to choose? We are choosing their condition. Let the mother will do everything. Let us be with her. Keep harmony. That is not harmony. That is a compromise. We call compromise as harmony.
So we will only pray for him.
That is the greatest power. Only when you are saying only, that means a helpless prayer.
I don't pray for him.
Greatest power given to humanity is a prayer that can link transcendental. It is so much powerful. It is while we are saying, oh, we have no other way but to pray. As if prayer is a very weak point. Prayer is a very powerful thing.
We have another question online. Probably we'll take it as a last question. So, because the time constraint is there. The question is, should the school education be like as in the ashram all over to build a like-minded atmosphere? But is it happening? So, it has two parts. Should the education in the schools should be as like in the ashram? That is one part. And what is happening now? Whether it is happening really or not.
You see, I have already told that in ashram there is a concentrative form of life. When we are expanding to the society, we have to accept the conditions of the society to some extent and make it slowly change. That is the difference between ashram and society. When we are coming to the society, we cannot say that we will not give any certificates, we will not do anything. We have to give certificate and make them convinced that certificate is not big thing. Your own personality is big thing. So while we are accepting a big society, we have to accept to some extent some conditions of the society and for change, not accepting that as a real.
One more question. How can I help others to overcome his illness? How can I help others to overcome his illness?
Yes, that can be possible. Because once mother has said in agenda, one person went to coma stage. Doctors tried their level best. And his wife was doing namajapa. So concentrative way that when relatives, friends used to come, she never talked with them. She was simply doing namajapa. And doctor declared that I am helpless, he only can save him. I have done my best, but nothing is possible. He had declared. In the next moment, he got his sense. Then everybody told that her namajapa for you made you live. He said, what she can do for me? No. Immediately went back to coma. And it was informed to mother. Mother was there. Mother said, he will not come back again to, he will not have sense because he had no sense of gratitude to the prayer. At least should have the gratitude. see, because of her, he come out everybody says, but he is not ready to accept.
The patient is not ready.
Yeah, he has no sense of gratitude. So prayer, you see how powerful it is in the form of namajapa. In the namajapa also, behind namajapa there is a prayer. Namajapa gives a concrete form. Because my mother has said namajapa has a direct effect on the body. So it is giving, a prayer is giving concrete form while you are doing namajapa. Along with namajapa there is a prayer also.
Continuous.
But attachment should not be there. Love should be there. We are praying because of attachment. So attachment weakens our prayer. Here there is attachment that blocks the prayer.
Then how do we come out of attachment? Like our children.
That is what your practice. You see, your children are not your children. Mother has given you.
Okay, but it's, but how do we
That is what practice.
separate ourselves?
That is what the practice. There is no mental answer for it. How do you means I will give you some steps you will do? No, there is no. Sadhana means doing with aspiration, with rejection and surrender. But mind always asks question, how? Give me some points. You have to aspire for that mother, remove my attachment, purify my attachment, because behind attachment there is a law. When it is mixed up with ego, that is attachment. It wants to possess. My son, you need not go everywhere. My, that is attachment. So when it is purified, that is you pray to the mother with your aspiration and everything and reject what bad things are coming to you. This is sadhana you have to do. Without sadhana, you are expecting everything to happen. For small thing, we have to struggle. To get money, for monthly money for 40,000 or 30,000, you have to day and night struggle. Many people have not come because of they are in the office. But for this great change, we want immediate solution. Is it not? We have come and prayed on everything should be miracle. Many people say, I have done 5 or 6 study circles, nothing is happening. So it is a great work, means great effort. Okay, thank you.